I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Yo, what's good, everybody? You are now listening to another episode of the Man Listen Show. But before we get started, let's hear a few words from our sponsors.
Are costly cable bills giving you the blues? Well, Magic Streams is your answer. Watch all of your favorite teams live in HD. You will also get access to over 1,500 movies and be able to watch TV shows instantly. Magic Streams. Click the link in our bio to get more information.
He's adding that flavor to your function. D's Daiquiri. Good people, good vibe, one drink at a time. Good people, good vibe, one drink at a time. Flavor to your function. D's Daiquiri. Good people, good vibe, one drink at a time. Good people, good vibe, one drink. Wanna kick back, wanna just vibe. Word kickback. Let me first slide to the drink store. Let me just buy DD drink mixes, all of them fire. Fill me up a case, I'm finna drop bread. Marvelous mango, classic and red. Took them to the party, these folks won't leave me alone. They wanting me to share, they better get their own. DD's adding that flavor to your function. DD's Daiquiri. Good vibe, one drink at a time. Good vibe, one drink at a time.
Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinion on topics that affect the Black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on the no-hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% Black all the time. You can find the show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please follow us. Make sure you share the show. Use the hashtag ManListen. You can listen to the show on iTunes, basically any podcast platform that you use. You can also find us on YouTube. Make sure to leave a comment, give us a thumbs up, and make sure you let everybody know about the blackest radio show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. I'm your host, Marv B. Let's bring the crew in. All right, y'all, we down one soldier. C is out on that grind. Shout out to C. But last week, Beyonce was in the news tough. She put out her latest album. She put out a single a couple weeks ago, maybe like a few weeks ago, whatever. And a lot of people was like, that's not house music or whatever. Actually, I like the single that she put out for this album. I'll be the first one to say that. Hopefully the Beehive don't jump all over me, but I'm not a, how do I say this? I'm not a huge like Beyonce stan. Like I'm not going to.
Here they come.
I'm not going to a concert. You know, I'm not downloading an album. But like, if she's got a hot single, you know, I'll listen to it. You know what I'm saying? I like some of Destiny Child stuff. But you know, she had a couple like that Frankie Beverly remake. You know, I actually like that joint. I know a lot of people say they don't like it.
Yeah.
That joint is tight to me. And I like what she does in the community, her and her husband, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not a hater, but I'm just not a huge fan. But so she got caught up in a little bit of controversy here recently because there's a group of, I guess you call them I guess it's the disabled community. The disabled community had a problem with the term that she had used, and the term is spaz. Now, that's not something that's in my lexicon or something that I use normally or regularly, you know, the word spaz. I definitely wasn't aware that it had became a slur towards disabled people. And I don't think in the US, it really is considered a slur. It's more of something that's in the UK. So when this first started about this word, Lizzo had put out a song, you know, she had a hot single, whatever, and they were using the word. And people were pointing out that, hey, this is mainly people in the UK that were talking about this. But you know, it's the, you know, internet music is worldwide. Lizzo caved and she changed that lyric. She took the word the spaz, and I'll just leave it at that. I don't want people saying that we are ableist. You know, it's not, so you're not a racist, you're an ableist if you're, you know, discriminating against disabled people, which is something else I didn't know. But Lizzo changed the word, and then Beyonce released her music, her CD, her album, and she had the word in a song as well. And they clicked up and they got right on her, and she said that she would change the word. She would change the lyrics in her song, in her music. So my question for you, for both of you, do you think she should have came? Do you think she should have changed her lyrics, considering the word? I guess it is something that they consider to be offensive, but it doesn't seem like it's something that's offensive here in the US. What do you think?
I mean, personally, I think that she should have, just because her platform is so huge. It makes more of a difference to more people if she doesn't. And it doesn't, I mean, it don't make no difference to her, obviously. It's easier for her to just go ahead and get it done, because she likes to avoid controversy anyway. So as soon as it caught wind, she was like, remove it. It's fine. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to still use the word. I just learned what ableist was yesterday. I looked it up, and all the other words. I was like, crazy. I call myself crazy like every day. Psycho, same. Spaz, yep. If a person's an idiot, they're an idiot. I mean, I can't not use these words. These words apply to people. I'm just saying. And that doesn't necessarily, to me, have any correlation to disabled people. And I get that they've decided that it does, but I just don't care, personally.
Yeah, I don't want to be dismissive of disabled people, because like I said, I don't want to be, I mean, at its core, racism is like bullying, you know what I mean? And I definitely don't want to be like bullying or dismissive of people who are disabled, because I mean, I know people that are disabled, and I love them and I care for them, and I don't want people mistreating them. I do think this is an overreaction, just because, I mean, in America, like, it never was something that was, for me, it wasn't something that was that serious. Now, I guess you could say the same thing, you know, about the F word. I mean, I want to point out that people in London, they still use what we call the F word to describe cigarettes, and they ain't changing that. So,
No.
but they definitely coming after these two Black women to change their lyrics. So, like you said, it's not that big a deal for her to change the lyrics. To me, the bigger example for this is how other communities can come together and stand together and get something changed. They can say, hey, listen, we all, whether I have spastic movements or whatever, it's something about disabled people, and that needs to be changed. When something happens against us, it never fails. Some Negroes out there talking about, well, you know, they didn't really mean it that way, and you know, we can't always be so sensitive to what other people say, and we always have somebody diluting our struggle. And I think that, again, I've told people before, we need to learn from the Jewish people. We need to learn from, you know, white people. They know when to stand together, right? Or if they don't stand together, you know what they do? They be quiet. They're silent. They don't offer anything to try to dilute the movement. And now we have the disabled community doing the same thing. And I hope that Black people can use this as an example when we need to push forward an agenda to stop somebody who's mistreating us, or somebody, or some sort of discrimination, to say, hey, listen, either stand with us or just shut the hell up. But lad, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree. For her, it was a no-brainer, right? So she has that kind of global reach, to where if she, the consequences for her not, I'm not gonna say consequences, but the effects of her not changing the lyric are greater than if she did. So she's all about, you know, maximizing her exposure, her money, her whatever, you know, her influence, everything. So it only made sense. I'll be honest with you, the first thing I thought about, because I hadn't heard about the Lizzo situation when this first happened. So then I started hearing about the Lizzo thing, and the first thing that came to my mind was Kanye has a song on his, I think it's graduation album maybe, and he used that word. And I mean, granted, that was 10 years ago, so a lot changes in 10 years. And you know, when you know better, you do better. You look at old TV shows, you look at, you know, there's a lot of conversation or things that are said that wouldn't fly today at all. And so it's just a natural progression of language. And when you know more, when you know better, you do better. But I do agree with you that I wonder if that could be a rallying cry for things that are said in music that are offensive to Black people. And that also drew the correlation to Kanye because it's rap. And it's almost like they let rappers say whatever they want, whenever they want. And it's almost like that's the appeal to rap, is that you can say whatever, you can do whatever, you know, whatever. And nobody's
about
going to
Black
say
people. As long as it's about other Black people.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And you know, and so I was like, I never heard anybody say anything about Kanye when he said that word.
So, you know, the one thing about Kanye though, and I wish C was on because you know she's a Kanye stan. Shout out to C. But what was the song that he had with Selena Johnson? And
All falls down.
Yeah, all falls down. He said, and the white man gets paid off for all of that.
Yeah.
They made him edit that lyric. Did they?
I didn't know that.
Oh, now you listen to that on like you listen to the video on MTV or whatever, like on white platforms, they edit that out, bro.
See, I ain't gonna lie, all I had was I just had the CD, so I didn't even know.
They edit that out, man. They edit that.
I didn't know
out.
that.
When you look at the biggest entertainer in history, Michael Joseph Jackson.
Yeah, I do. They don't care about us.
They made him change that joint. I do remember that. They made him change it. So, like I said, it's I don't have a problem with it being changed for this other reason right here. Beyonce puts it on the line for the community. Her and Jay-Z. Now, y'all know I'm a Nas fan. I know y'all stand for Jay, but her and Jay.
Man, you can't keep saying that. They're not mutually exclusive. You can be fans of both.
It's competition. It's rap. You know what I'm saying? Either you're Nas or you're Jay. But I don't got a problem with Jay. They put it on the line. They put their money on the line for different causes. Back in the day, they would like show up to stuff, and then I think they realized that, hey, listen, we're more of a distraction if we show up. So like they'll like quietly like, hey, we're gonna throw some funds behind this or money behind that. So we don't need Beyonce to be messing up her paper, right? We don't need her to be messing up her paper because she's one of the ones that's actually doing what most of us want from a celebrity. To, okay, I'm making my music, I'm making money, and I'm giving back to my community. So she's a shining example of that. So I don't have a problem with this. I don't think there's more drastic stuff that could happen. This isn't one of them. But speaking of getting money off the music though, so y'all know Kelis, my boy Nas's ex-wife, she had major beef.
He hating on her now too. Nas fan hating on her. No.
She had major beef with Beyonce with this album that came out because apparently there was a sample. There's a sample on the song and it's from Milkshake. Now, I listened to both songs and like honestly had not the Kelis stans pointed it out. Oh, but Beyonce gave credit. Beyonce gave credit to Chad Hugo, and Pharrell of the Neptunes. And then she put in performed by Kelis, right? So people pointed out, apparently Beyonce has sampled Kelis in the past or whatever. But had she not pointed it out, I wouldn't even, if somebody had like singled it out, I wouldn't even known that they had sampled Milkshake. It was that kind of layered. But Kelis really lashed out at Beyonce because apparently Beyonce has said like she's not doing business with people who I'll say, for lack of a better word, morally upright. So like if you have any type of a sketchy background versus women or anything like that, Beyonce is not going to do business with you, right? So like, for example, Kendrick Lamar, he just came out with an album and he had Kodak Black on 2 songs. And a lot of people gave Kendrick flack for that because Kodak has some sexual assault charges or some accusations that are kind of pending. So people are like, hey, why are you doing business with him when he's got that going on, right? Mm-hmm. So apparently Beyonce is taking that ground. So Kelis is like, hey, so you're supposed to be standing up for women, then why are you doing business with these guys who abuse me? Now, how did they abuse her? So when Chad, Pharrell, the Neptunes were working with Kelis, according to Kelis, the split was supposed to be 33, 33, 33. Like everybody gets their third, and we putting this music out, right? But apparently her lawyers wasn't on point. She didn't have a RICO on the job. And when it came out, she didn't get none of the paper. She's not getting royalties. The people who are getting it is Chad and Pharrell. So here you are being sampled by one of the biggest artists on the planet, and you're not getting paid. So she's salty. So of course, I think her anger is misdirected by going at Beyonce. It's really at Chad and Pharrell, but she's salty. I mean, which I think. Y'all think Beyonce should have, I mean, she should have did more research? Is Kelis tripping? Which I think.
I mean, I don't know, because the thing about it is, so she's like, I saw her little video or whatever, and she was like, she could have called me like a professional courtesy, called you and said, what? I'm using this sample that you don't own. So like, I'm not really sure if there was anything Beyonce could have done short of not sampling the song to appease her. And then, I mean, like, as a phone call really wouldn't make her feel better about the fact that she's not going to get paid off it. So what she's really mad about is that Beyonce says she's not going to work with people who have issues with women in their repertoire, but she chose to still work with them, even though she deems them as having issues. But when it comes to business and doing contracts and stuff like that, I think that's in a different category than sexual assault or battery and all of these other type of things that some of these people really have going on with, you know, their women in their lives or whatever. When it comes to signing contracts and making deals, it's not my job to look out for you and your money. It's your job and your team to look out for you and your money. So am I taking advantage of you because my lawyer is better than yours? That's the whole point. My lawyer is supposed to be better than yours. I make more money. If I have the same quality of lawyer as you, then I've wasted my time. Like, I'm not going to hold on to this money because I'm not, you know, improving my quality of employee or staff or services and whatnot. So
I mean on that though, but first of all, Kelis was 19 at the time. She's an adult. She's 19. I think Pharrell and them were probably like in their late 20s, like 26, 27, something like that. And I think you have a valid point if you're talking about negotiating in business, right? I think in this situation, this is supposed to be a collaborative deal. So I don't think that really applies. Like, why are you trying to crush somebody that you're collabing with? Why are you trying to take advantage of somebody, especially since we all know that Pharrell and Kelis, they was in a relationship at the time. That's probably the bigger picture.
I did not know that till this moment.
Don't do business with people that you messing with.
that part.
You know what I'm saying?
But this is the thing though. Everybody has their version of events. It's like, why would I, this is just me thinking of out loud. It could have been the case. There was supposed to be 33, 30, 33. Kelis is a 19-year-old unknown. Why would the Neptunes give her equal share to what, or come in and say, I'm gonna give you exactly what we got? You know what I mean? They already had they were already the Neptunes. And so I don't know what happened, you know, but that's just me thinking off the top of my head. That's the first thing. But second and most important, Q-Tip told y'all a long time ago, industry rule number 4080, record companies are shady, right? I mean, we all know that. That's been something that's been going on for years. Doesn't make it right or anything like that, but that's part of the business. You know, they always say it's not show friends, it's show business.
But I think that's true. But I think it stings a whole lot more when it's somebody that looks like you. And it stings, and it stings.
I agree. I will agree with that.
It stings a whole lot more when you're doing business with somebody who you consider to be a friend, right? A friend or an associate. You know, I couldn't imagine this podcast, you know, blowing up and we getting a whole bag for this, and me telling y'all, hey, well, shoot, I didn't sign y'all paperwork. This is my money. I couldn't imagine doing that. Y'all my friends. You know what I mean? Now I understand business is business, right? Business is business, but I see where she was coming from. Again, I say her anger is misdirected. I don't know if Beyonce necessarily owed her a courtesy call. Like, I don't think. I mean, as long as I cleared this, like what Biz Marquis say, all samples cleared.
All samples cleared. Yeah.
As long as I cleared the samples, like there were so many layers of samples on this song because there was this white lady, I think her name was Diane Warren. I'm not familiar with her.
Yeah, I saw that too.
She tried to clown Beyonce and try to say, how do you have 25 writers on the song? And the dude, The Dream, shout out to The Dream, who's penned and wrote so many songs for so many artists. He called her out on it and says, let's be clear. You know why there's so many artists, because so many writers, because we didn't have the resources to produce like music like we wanted to. So we had to sample and we had to give credit and blah, 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 right? He put her in her place. And then she tried to do white girl one-on-one. I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just wanting to know. Nah, you were trying to be shady. And the dream didn't let her off the hook. He didn't let her off the hook, and he got with her. So I don't know. Beyonce is not producing this music. I don't think she's producing this music. She may be writing the lyrics.
Yeah,
she may be writing the lyrics. She may be vocalized, but she's not producing the music. The producers are. So how is she going to be like, okay, you sample this, you sample this? Her lawyers are doing that for her.
Yeah. And you know, that 24 writers, it also got me thinking, like, Beyonce seems like the type to me that would give credit to somebody just so they can get a royalty in the future. You know, that person may not have actually had a hand in writing it, but I'm going to give you a writing credit because I know how the music industry works. And as long as you got a credit, then the next time in 50 years or whatever, when they're playing this song, you are going to get a royalty, unlike Milkshake, you know, with Kelis. I'm not trying to rub it, but you know.
Right. But that also lends itself to, if she's giving credit to 24 writers on one song, how many phone calls you think she's supposed to make to every single person whose song gets sampled? She's not about to do that. And I'm not a huge Beyonce fan either. I haven't listened to the album. I haven't heard any of the songs, so I don't know. But I do know that one thing I respect about her is that she does not play around. She was like, oh, there's an issue with the song, remove it. Play amongst yourselves, children. Never spoke about it or anything. Song just gone, moved on with her life. Like, change the lyric, move on with her life. She's like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I hate that it happened to Kelis, you know, because I think they said Milkshake is like one of the most sampled songs. Like, it's been sampled like the crazy, I don't say the most sampled, but it's been sampled a crazy amount of times. And the fact that she's not getting paid on it, that's
tough. That is tough.
It's tough, man.
That's tough.
Okay, but you got to take some personal responsibility too, because even as before I was a lawyer, a 19-year-old college kid, if the only thing I know that our agreement consists of is that I'm supposed to get 33%, if you give me a document that don't somewhere on it say Arika gets 33%, that's the main thing I'm looking for. I may not know what all this other stuff says, but if it don't say Arika gets 33%, I'm gonna be like, hey, what's this?
I feel you on that, but I'm gonna give her some grace because I know younger Marv, you know, before he knew business, may have been like, oh yeah, we in the studio, we collabing, you know what I'm saying, and we all gonna make it big. And then when it come out, you'd be like, hey, wait a minute, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna give her some grace that, yeah, it's easy for us to say in our 40s, you should have known better, but I can't say that 19-year-old Marv would have been 100% on point with his business. You know, I don't know her parental upbringing. You would think that her management team or her lawyer should have been on point. That's who really should have been on point.
That's what you need to be suing for malpractice.
Pharrell them probably hired the lawyer though, when you think about it.
Well, that's conflict of interest. That's even more reason why she should sue the lawyer. That's why they got malpractice insurance. She can get paid off of him. There's her milkshake money right there.
If that's the case,
better shake her butt on down to the disciplinary office.
Right.
if that's in fact the case, I mean, yeah, I mean, and I just hate to see Black people beefing. And again, she kind of made herself look a little silly because, like I said, had Beyonce not credited her, she didn't even have to credit her when she said performed by Kelis. Really, all she had to do was credit Pharrell and Chad because they're the writers, right?
Exactly.
So she kind of low-key did her a favor because honestly, I think Kelis knew I don't really have a cause. I mean, I'm sure what you said, Marika, if that was the case, she could have been like, "Oh, we're gonna explore that method, right?" Because I'm sure there's some attorney, some hungry attorney that'd be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna rock with it as long as I get my cut right. We
Right.
we go ahead and do it." But Beyonce low-key did her a favor.
She did.
Because this is one of them things where people are like, "Wow, she's just clout chasing Beyonce." No. She's using this what bigger platform than Beyonce releasing an album.
Yeah.
When is Kelis going to have the attention of that many people?
Never.
She's never going to have the attention of that many people. So she might not get her paper right, but what she can do is either get Chad and Pharrell's fans to shame them and to be like, "Man, y'all need to break that girl off," or she could damage their brand so that they're not making no more money going further. I can see that being the play.
I can see that, and I can also see Beyonce, like if she got the tour dates already signed. I mean, maybe she reaches out to Kelis and be like, "Hey, come through, be on a couple of dates or whatever, give you a little, break you off a little bread, and already cleared the sample, so I could."
But can she?
That would have been the better play.
But can she tour? But Beyonce, can she tour with those songs without and get paid? If Pharrell and Chad,
but that's what I just said. She already cleared this, but Beyonce already cleared the sample, so she has the right to that. So if because that was originally on the album, so she could do the original album version and play the original version of the song and somehow work Kelis into it somehow. I don't know.
It's probably,
well, that play is dead because she shouldn't have called her out. Because
she messed it up. Yeah, she messed that whole play up. She messed that play up. She did.
But she could have at least been like, shout out to Beyonce for sampling Milkshake, and then people would have been like, "Oh, you on there or whatever." That could have been her clout right there. Because
while you playing, the lady Robin S. So the first single that Beyonce put out, she sampled this famous house song by this woman named Robin S., Black woman from the UK. And it came out, the woman, she was in her car, she was like, "Hey, listen, I'm honored to see that Beyonce sampled my music," right? The lady wasn't even aware of it. Her kids let her know. I tried to look it up because I was trying to compare the two to see, did this lady have any writing credits? Was she getting paid off of it? And I didn't see where she had any writing or production or executive production credits. So I think it's another situation where it's a Black woman getting screwed, right, by the music industry. But this lady was like, "Hey, shout out to Beyonce. She's keeping me relevant after all these years." So you have one person handling one way and one person handling another way. So, and maybe that lady's more at peace with where she's at with her career, and Kelis is not. And
right. Yep.
When you get taken advantage of or abused in that way, I can see feeling that way. So it's not just the disabled community. It's not just Kelis that's hot at Beyonce. Before we go, your girl Monica Lewinsky. So y'all remember Monica Lewinsky, right? She
how can we forget? Yeah.
So apparently she put out a tweet today where Beyonce agreed to change the lyric, the spaz lyric. I guess I need to stop saying that word.
Yeah, right.
Change the lyric.
You ableist.
I promise y'all, I'm not. I don't have any. I don't want no smoke with the disabled community. I love you. Yeah. I love y'all. Monica Lewinsky put out a tweet that said, "Now change partition." And I'm paraphrasing, and I'm just like, "Girl, bye." Nobody. So on partition, where Beyonce says Monica Lewinsky.
Oh,
Monica Lewinsky all over my
yes.
Like
okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone did.
So what y'all think? So what y'all
Are
think?
you serious?
So what y'all think? Monica got a case, or she need to get the hell on?
She need to be like the girl Robin S. and be honored that she's a bird now. You know what I'm saying?
She needs to have all the seats.
Verb. Yeah.
Girl, bye. You're infamous. You put yourself out there. That's what you're known for. Accept it.
Right.
I mean,
like, if it wasn't for that, nobody would even know who you were.
Know who you are.
Now, Now that's clout chasing.
Very.
That's
very
the
much
definition of clout chasing right there.
You might as well have followed that up with, "And buy my book." At Beyonce.
I bet it's coming. I bet it's coming.
Oh yeah.
It's coming. But shout out to Beyonce. I mean, again, I haven't listened to the album. I don't have anything against her. More power to her. Because like I said, she puts it on the line for the community. I hope that everybody enjoys the music, and people who enjoy her music get joy out of it. I mean, because I think we got so much going on in the world today, man. This type of strife and drama between Black people. I mean, I really wish we could put that aside, and be more unified to try to get stuff done, like our disabled friends. So I guess that's it, man. I think we talked about it enough. Make sure y'all follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Man Listen Show. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, any other podcast platform. Subscribe on YouTube. Leave a comment. Give us a thumbs up. Share the show. We need to get those followers up. Let's get to 300. If we get to a solid 300, I think we'll be straight. We get to a solid 300, then, we'll set the next goal. But let's get to 300 before the end of August. So with that being said, we'll holler at you next time. Peace. What up, C? I was gonna say a Beyonce song. You can tell you don't know no
Right.
Beyonce.
Nah, I was about to say you can't break her soul,